She doesn't crave your money. She doesn't crave your looks. She craves something far more powerful, something so rare that only a small group of men know how to give it, an emotional connection. And here's the kicker. When you know how to give her that, she will never forget you. Hey everyone, welcome back to Psychology Insight. Today, we're diving deep into the real reason why 99.9% of women are desperate for one specific type of emotional connection. If you want to understand how to make her not only attracted, but addicted to your presence, stay locked in until the very end. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment below. Now let's get into it. 1. Emotional connection is not what you think. Most men think emotional connection means constant texting, answering her calls right away, buying flowers, and being available every single second. They confuse connection with availability. But let me tell you, being available 24/7 doesn't create attraction. It kills it. Women can sense when a man is trying too hard. When she feels like you're bending your life around her schedule, it doesn't make her feel safe. It makes her feel suffocated. She thinks, if he has all this free time for me, does he even have a life of his own? That thought instantly lowers her respect. Here's the truth. Emotional connection is built on balance. It's not about chasing. It's about creating moments that she can't stop replaying in her head. When you look at her in silence and she feels like you see right through her, that's connection. When you make her laugh in a way that no one else can, that's connection. When you hold her, not like a prize you've won, but like a woman you truly value, that's connection. Think about it. When a woman says, "I just don't feel it," what she really means is, "I don't feel emotionally connected to you." It's not about how many dates you've taken her on. It's about how deeply you've touched her heart without trying to buy her affection. And here's the part most guys never realize. Once a woman feels that connection, she becomes hooked. She craves your attention. She replays your texts. She talks about you to her friends without even realizing it. She feels butterflies when she sees your name pop up on her phone. That's the level of emotional pull you want to build. Not the fake kind where you're overcompensating, but the kind where she feels like being with you is different from being with anyone else. So understand this first principle. Emotional connection is not about giving her everything she asks for. It's about creating an energy between you that makes her feel safe, seen, and excited all at once. 2. Why women crave emotional safety. Every man thinks women want excitement all the time. The flashy dates, the spontaneous trips, the firework kind of love. And yes, those moments feel good. But the thing that makes her desperate for you over any other man isn't just excitement. It's emotional safety. Now, don't confuse this with being soft or acting like her emotional babysitter. That's where most men get it wrong. Emotional safety is not about listening to her problems for 3 hours every night or nodding your head at everything she says just to keep her happy. That's not safety, that's servitude. And women don't respect servants. True emotional safety is about showing her that you're unshaken. You're steady when life gets messy. You don't crumble when she throws attitude, and you don't get insecure when she pulls away a little. In other words, she can test your patience, your confidence, your masculinity, and you don't flinch. That's what makes her feel safe. Think about it like this. A woman's emotions are like waves. They rise, crash, and fall. She doesn't want a man who gets dragged under by every wave. She wants the rock she can cling to when her emotions storm. That rock is emotional safety. And here's the psychology behind it. From an evolutionary standpoint, women are wired to look for a partner who can protect them emotionally as much as physically. A man who can keep his composure under stress signals strength. And strength, emotional strength, is magnetic. So, when you hold your frame during conflict, when you don't beg for her attention, when you show her that you can walk away instead of breaking down, she feels something deep. That's the emotional connection 99.9% of women crave. It's not about flowers and chocolates. It's about knowing, if I fall apart, he won't. Here's a small example. Let's say she says, "You don't care about me anymore." Most guys panic. They start explaining, defending, begging to prove their love. But a man who understands emotional safety, he doesn't argue. He looks her in the eye, stays calm, and says, "You know I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." No raised voice, no panic, just steady reassurance. That single moment can change the way she sees you forever. So remember, emotional safety isn't built through constant attention. It's built by showing her you're unshakable, even when her emotions aren't. 3. The power of mystery and connection. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If she knows everything about you right away, she loses interest faster than you think. And yet, most men overshare too quickly. They tell their life story on the first date, reveal every thought, confess every weakness, thinking honesty will win her over. But honesty without pacing kills mystery, and mystery is oxygen for attraction. 4. Now, don't twist this. Mystery doesn't mean lying. It doesn't mean playing disappearing games for days. It means having a life outside of her and revealing it slowly, like chapters in a book. The slower she turns the page, the more hooked she becomes. Let me paint the picture. Imagine you're on a date. Instead of bragging about every detail of your job, your travels, your dreams, you drop one story, one detail, and then change the subject. You leave her curious. Later that night, she's lying in bed wondering, what else hasn't he told me yet? That curiosity creates emotional investment. She starts leaning in, asking more, chasing more. The psychology is simple. People value what isn't fully accessible. When you hold back parts of yourself, not in a cold way, but in a confident, playful way, you make her want to earn it. She feels like she's slowly peeling back layers of a man who is worth discovering. That's mystery. Here's where most men screw it up. They either overshare out of nervousness, or they hide everything like a locked box. Both extremes kill attraction. Mystery is the middle ground, giving her enough to feel connected, but not so much that she feels like she's read the whole book by date 2. And here's the thing. Mystery doesn't just apply to what you say. It's also how you live. When she sees you have passions, goals, friends, hobbies, and you don't cancel all of that for her, she starts asking herself, where is he? What's he doing? Why do I feel this urge to be part of his world? That's the emotional hook of mystery. Let me give you a small line that works better than a 3-hour conversation. Instead of texting good morning every day, drop something unexpected like, don't get in trouble today without me. Short, playful, and it leaves her curious. That one text will stick in her head longer than 10 plain good mornings. So never forget this. The emotional connection women crave isn't about being an open book. It's about being a story she's desperate to keep reading. 4. Integrity, the foundation of desire. You can be charming, funny, even mysterious. But if you lack integrity, none of it lasts. And here's the harsh truth. Women can spot the difference between a man who talks a big game and a man who lives his truth. Integrity is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's when your words and actions match. If you say you'll call at 8, you call. If you promise her you'll show up, you show up. Not because you're desperate for approval, but because you respect yourself enough to stand by your word. Now, most guys think integrity is just about how they treat the woman. But women watch more than you realize. They notice how you talk to the waiter, how you treat your friends, how you handle pressure, how you react when life throws a curveball. If you complain, gossip, or break your word easily, she'll file that in her mind. And slowly, she'll lose respect. And here's the truth. If she doesn't respect you, she can't love you. Let's go deeper. Think about the kind of man women tell their friends about with that sparkle in their eyes. They say things like, "He's different. When he says something, you can trust it." That reaction isn't about looks or money. It's about integrity. A man with integrity makes a woman feel like she can finally relax. She doesn't have to second-guess his words because his actions speak louder. And there's another layer here. Integrity creates boundaries. It's when you refuse to bend your values just to keep her happy. Maybe she tests you. Maybe she pushes for something you're not okay with. Most men cave because they're afraid of losing her. But the man with integrity says calmly, "That's not who I am." And instead of losing